Let me finish my
Hi.
drink first.
No, okay. Hi, welcome to What About Indie Games? I'm Ant, and there's Renee, and she's the world's greatest. What do you call yourself? Adv- I've lost everything.
Well, I've got a few names now. I've got Indie Saint and Indie Stalker.
Ooh,
So,
how did you get those?
well, you gave me Indie Stalker. You don't? Do you even remember?
Yeah, well, it's been a busy month, okay, and I feel like we haven't done this for like 2 months, but that is because you stalk indie devs until they submit into giving you their information.
I I I will find multiple ways to contact an indie dev if one way doesn't work, and if I exhaust all my ways of contact and they don't respond, then I'm like, okay, I guess that's it. They're not featured, but I don't give up on the first try. I usually will try
Well,
to contact. It's generally a
that's how stalkers work. I don't know if you I don't know if you know what these people do. They're the similar kind of thing.
Oh, I don't find out where they live or anything. I just
Oh,
email them
you oh yeah, you find
on
out,
Facebook, Twitter,
find them.
LinkedIn, Blue Sky, Instagram. If you're on any of the social media platforms, I will find you and I will talk about your game.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, PAX was a lot of fun going around to indies and just being like, I would go around to some of the indie places and they would be like, oh, do you want to know about the game or do you want to play the demo? And I'm like, oh, no, thanks, I've already played it. They're just like, what? What? How? Like, you've got a demo on Steam, so I played it. Like, why wouldn't I?
Oh, no one else has. Like that's how indie devs feel. They're like, oh, but so you actually played it? Like we just thought we put demos out there so people can look at them and stuff. But no one, mum plays it, and that's about it. That's how indie
Yeah, no,
devs
no, I,
feel.
I played it. Yeah, and so many times the demo was like, the dev was like, oh, you have? And I'd be like, yeah, you had a demo on Steam. So if I'm going to write about your game, I need to know more about it, which means I have to play it.
Mm.
It's the easiest way for me to write about it. Also, it's not visible in the shot, but I'm actually wearing the
Light haze shirt.
Light Haze World shirt.
Ah,
Yep.
it's adorable. But
I thought that I would. You gave me a shirt, may as well use it
yeah, I gave.
for your podcast.
Yeah, yeah. Everyone that probably knows me has already wishlist the game or something. So yeah, we don't have. I've got a Light haze world shirt on too. The old stuff.
I was just thinking, I haven't actually I don't think I have wishlisted. I better do that.
Oh my god.
I think because I know you, I'm gonna grab my phone now and I'm
No,
gonna.
no, no. It's fine. We'll do it in another. Let's talk about other indie games. Well, okay. So anyone that follows along with this show or whatever, we've had a busy kind of month where there was like GCAP and Gamescon and
Melbourne International
PAX.
Games Week, which was just everything rolled into one. And they say it's a week, but it's not. It's more like 10 days to
A
2 weeks.
month, basically a month. Did we speak since I went to Hobart? I don't know if we even spoke after that. I don't. I also.
No, we did it before that because we did the special edition where it was that we were.
So yeah, so I went down to Hobart as well for another game. So I've done 3 or 4 games conventions in the space of whatever this time period is, and you've been to a couple things as well, and then we finally become normal people again, and we decided to talk about games, and so that's where we're at, just to fill in the
Normal people
blanks.
again. I'm never normal. Um, but yeah, no, I didn't go to as many things because obviously my dog has separation anxiety issues, which makes it quite hard for me to go to events. To do PAX, I essentially had to pay for her to go to doggy daycare on the Friday, and then asked a friend to look after her on the Saturday and the Sunday because she cannot be left alone. And if she is left with my mum, she will annoy the crap out of my mum, who is elderly and gets very irritated very easily. So,
I'm just thinking though, like why why doesn't these conventions bring in a pet area? There must be other people like gamers out there that have pets with anxiety. Like it's not
well,
like
the thing
an
is,
one-off thing.
They've actually had they actually had dogs 1 year, but it was for Destiny.
Ah,
Destiny actually brought in rescue dogs for 1 year at PAX. So it was the Australian Working Dog Rescue who tend to primarily rescue kelpies and border collies, which are notoriously difficult to rehome because a lot of people get these dogs without realizing what type of dog they are.
a lot of running, a lot of
A
exercise.
lot of exercise, mental stimulation, things like that. If you don't give them those things, they will become destructive and they will cause a lot of problems. A lot of people get these dogs not realizing that they can't just leave them at home like a lot of the other dogs. And then they go, oh, I don't want this dog anymore because it's ripping up everything. So they did that to raise money for them because they're a charity. So they did it 1 year, but yeah. With Ivy, I don't think she could actually go to PAX because she would get too excited.
Mm.
She's kind of a bit of an
Oh,
odd dog because she's
all dogs are people. Dogs are the best
yeah,
kind of people. Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
Dogs are the people we wish we were.
Yeah.
Because she can be a bit aloof with people that she's meeting at the first time, and I think that's just because she wasn't completely socialized with new humans when she was a pup.
Yeah.
Also, she has issues with people on roofs. If she sees a person on a roof or on a balcony, she absolutely loses her shit.
That's like, okay. So this has just gone. So this is what about Indie Dogs podcast now, but
Yeah.
it's gone a bit like, but roofs. Like, is it worry for the people on the roof for falling off? Like, we have to get to the bottom of this before we go too far ahead. Um,
We don't know, but it seems to be if she sees someone doing something that she's not expecting, so like if she sees people exercising and they're sitting in a weird position, she'll
oh,
run over and bark at them, and then she has to yeah, yeah, and then she'll kind of stop barking and then she'll get a little more confident and she'll go and sniff them and then be like, "Oh, it's just a human. They're okay. It's fine." There was a person laying down in the park one day and he was having a nap. He was literally just having a nap, teenager having a nap. And Ivy was walking around him in a circle barking, and I'm like, he's just sleeping, calm down, you see me sleep all the time. And she's just like, no, this strange person is sleeping in the park, I don't trust it, I'm going to continue barking at him. He didn't even wake up.
did you check that they were alive?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
Okay.
I did. I spoke to them, and I think after I spoke to them, they woke up and they were like, "Oh, sorry, I was just having a nap." I'm like, "See, Ivy, it's just a person. Calm down. They're just having a nap." Oh,
Oh,
she's just a funny dog.
yeah. Okay, so where should we start with indie games? Let's move back to what about indie games?
Well, I think we should discuss the ones that were at PAX
Okay.
because I didn't get to go to the Hobart convention or the Singapore one, so I can't talk about those ones.
Okay. Oh, I look. I won an award in Singapore, so yeah, the end. Um, so yeah, PAX.
Congratulations on that, anyway.
Yeah, no, it's good. But yeah, what PAX games caught your eye?
I actually had the hardest time with the PAX games this year, and it's probably because I just saw there was just so many indies that my brain just kind of it all
Uh,
became
well,
one thing.
okay, let's go backtrack a little bit. Was
Mm.
there like how like most years all the games have like similar kind of themes or things like that? There was a one overwhelming theme or something like that all the games seem to be a big part like have
Yeah,
that
yeah.
what like are they all Dracula
What seems to
games?
be on
Yeah,
trend and stuff.
what was the
Well, actually,
trend? Yeah, that's a good question.
I don't think there was one this year. And that probably seems a bit weird, but I think it's because a lot of them were like returning games or they were, just emerging. There was only one Vampire Survivors like that I saw, which, you'd think that would be a huge trend, and it wasn't.
Mm.
Yeah, I think people were just busy making games that they enjoy. Because
Well,
I'm just
I wonder if the screen.
flipping through it in my brain.
Well, I wonder if Screen Australia's had something to do with that, or Screen Victoria, Screen whichever state you're in, because they've been going around doing all these funding kind of things. Hey, this is what we look for, and a lot of the time they reference, if you just make another vampire survival game, we're not going to fund that. And then so I wonder if people are like, oh, let's not make a vampire survival game because they're not going to fund that. I wonder if it was like that kind of thing, because there was a lot of
Yeah, and
unique
also I feel like
ideas.
if you're gonna make a Vampire Survivor game and to make that, you've really got to have some kind of thing that separates you from the original game.
Hmm.
Like you've got to improve on it. You can't just make the game again and hope that it's gonna also get big.
Yeah,
It's just not how it works. And I think that's why Screen Australia has that sort of thing in it. It's like you have to do something. And let's be honest, if you're just making it because you want to make money and you're
hmm,
not really passionate about it, they're not that interested.
hmm,
Like, you need to be passionate about it. And I
yeah,
think that's part of the thing.
yeah, that's true.
And I
So
think that's why there was no trend. I think that people are busy just making the games that they want to play and that they want to get out there. So because they're focusing on that, they're not really worrying about what the current trends are. They're not really keeping an eye on that, because if you keep chasing trends, you're not going to get anywhere anyway. You're always going to be behind the curve.
well, that's what I would say. I would say that there was kind of two trends, well, not trends, but two kinds of games at PAX. One more the cozy kind of ones, and then the other side, which was the really, really violent ones. It was either like blood and guts or nothing, and that's probably not a new kind of concept, but there was a lot more of the less blood and guts games. There was a lot more kind of family friendly games to
Yeah,
other
I'm
years, I thought.
trying to think where I think that I can only think of about five that had violent themes.
Mm.
I mean, they all have some degree of violence, obviously, but I mean, like the ones that tend to be the more mature based games. Um, this is slightly off topic, but also on topic. Did you play 420 Blaze It's demo by any chance?
What was the game called?
420 Blaze It 2,
No.
Game of the Year edition. Don't Let Your Memes Be Dreams, or is it Dank Memes Double Dreams Poggers edition? It's a
Oh,
really long title. Wait, let me actually see if I can find the actual one. It's
that
so
actually
good.
sounds really cool. Like, I feel like this. What are they doing? That there's Super Sigma or something like that. Is it like Sigma Edition? Maybe that's what the kids say.
It's it's a it's really weird because it's a first person shooter, so you really expect it to be the most generic thing possible, and it is, while also being completely batshit insane. Like, I don't know how else to describe it. Okay, so I've got it here. It's 420 Blaze It 2 Game of the Year, Dank Dreams and Goated Memes, hashtag wow, 11 like and subscribe, Poggers Edition. That's the full title.
420. Is it on Steam? 420 Go to.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
like they've got every
Yeah, yeah.
thing and they've put it into a thing. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I did not play that game, but it looks like really.
It was really funny because someone actually took a photo of the Victorian police playing the demo.
Ah, it just looks like a meme, a constant meme. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it was really weird when I played it because I played it to write about it, like I do with a
Did
lot of
you
other
get
things, and
high
it was like,
first?
sorry?
Did you get high first? Because I feel like there's two different experiences for this game.
No, 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 no. I can't actually have marijuana. The smell of marijuana makes me rich, so
Okay, yeah.
I have an
So you're doing the.
sensitivity to it.
See, I don't know if you're going to get the full experience then, just to be fair.
Well, when I went in there, it was It was really weird because it was kind of like I was talking to my friend who really enjoys his memes, and it was like I was playing a first person shooter while he was just yelling at me. So I think I gave them a micro review on Blue Sky and told them that I left feeling more confused than before I started playing. And they were like, it's working exactly as intended then. And I'm like, okay. I'm glad you guys are happy with it because I have no idea what happened.
I don't know what it just did. Okay. Yeah. It kind of led me to a little bit. Did you see the Bogan game, whatever the Bogan game was?
Aussie Bogan Hero!
Yeah, that's kind of got a similar but not quite the same vibe, but it's probably a little bit more sane than that.
It's actually got a fairly interesting story.
Oh, really?
Yeah. You wouldn't think it looking at it. It's a Metroidvania, but this story is basically, I believe his name's Davo, is the Bogan.
It has to be Davo.
Yeah, it has to be Davo. And he's, oh no, wait, or was it Barnsey? I think it was, might have been, I could be getting my Aussie games confused here. I'm getting my characters confused.
Anyway,
This is what happens when you read too many and play too many things, and it all just jumbles.
We'll believe it's Davo. And
We'll just call it Davo for now because
yeah,
it's easier.
yeah.
Anyway, so what happens is that the town of Bogan Springs has an opal mine, and a large conglomerate comes along and starts mining the opals. They find out that the opals actually contain a substance that causes things to mutate. Instead of stopping production, they decide to ramp up production, and when everything kind of goes wrong, the mine goes, oh, you know what? It's those Bogans. How dare they? It's absolutely their fault this is happening, and it's got nothing to do with us. Maybe we should just shut off Bogan Springs and all this bad stuff will go away. And of course, being, the master of look over there, they all go, oh yeah, okay, so that's what it is. So they end up closing down Bogan Springs, closing it off, and they shut down the pub. And David goes,
oh shit.
You
yeah.
what, mate? to copy the British. And he essentially is going on a journey so that they can reopen his pub and also kind of clear the name of the Bogans, but mostly so they can open up the pub again.
See, I did not get any of that message from the advertisements of it. I thought it was just a game where I throw my thong at magpies whilst drinking my VB and eating a sausage.
No, there is an story. It's a Metroidvania, so you'll get power-ups and stuff, and then you'll be able to access new areas. There's also a dog in there who's a blue healer.
Oh, it has to be.
That can help you out with puzzles. So, for example, if you've got to a point where you need something to stay on the button, normally you'd have to move a box. You just say the dog, stay, and then you can go to the other area and then call the dog back over after.
Yeah, well,
yeah.
I'm blown away. So I gave this game not as much credit as it was due. So I'm glad that you played it.
Oh yeah, no. I actually I messaged the devs on Twitter and asked if they would possibly consider putting in arachnophobic mode because they have giant huntsmans, and huntsmans are the one spider that I cannot handle. I have some arachnophobia, but yeah, huntsmans is just you can say to me, oh, they're not dangerous or anything like that. It's the way they move.
Can't you just take your shoe off in the game and smack the spider dead, or like?
The spider is bigger than him, and it moves like a huntsman, and that just yuck.
I don't know. I think it's perfect.
I didn't say it was a rational fear.
Sorry,
just give me a moment.
It seems like it should be. I don't know. I feel like the game should have got way more credit than that.
Bloody hay fever.
You love it.
Oh, I do not love it. After all, the reason this is late is because I had a sinus infection last week. Probably caused by hay fever.
Yeah. Yeah, so there was Aussie Bogan here. Was the Magpie game there, or did it not make it over?
No. Pie in the Sky was not there.
Okay. And was there any other very Australiana kind of games there that we...
Well, Hollow Hero was back again.
Oh, yeah.
I know Isopod features the fire ant conglomerate, which fire ant seems to be a very Aussie thing.
There seems to be a bit of an ant thing going on. It's like I've seen a few games that
Yeah, recently there's a
yeah,
few ant things. Well,
yeah.
the thing is, you're not playing as an ant. You're actually you're helping the normal ants against the fire ants who are trying to take over the forest. Yes.
Yeah,
So,
ants are turning into a real thing in games now.
but in that one, you're not playing a ant. You're playing a roly poly. You know the
Oh
little.
yeah, yeah. Oh, I like
Yeah, yeah.
them.
You know the ones I'm
Yeah,
talking
yeah,
about.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's you'll have to Google that if you're from outside of Australia. Too bad.
Yeah, we're not explaining it.
Yeah. Yep. And there was what other games there? There was a few
Oh,
games.
the other one that was another Australian one that actually won an award, Anti-Citizen Red.
What is Anti-Citizen Red?
That's Barnsey. Oh, that's where I got my
Oh,
things
okay. So we
confused.
were
Okay,
right. So
so
Davo
he's
was in Bogan Hunters.
a Bogan Aussie hero,
Yeah.
yep. And then Barnsey was in Anti-Citizen Red. So Anti-Citizen Red is obviously very inspired by Max Payne, the original one.
Yeah.
The poor developer's hearts broke every time someone would come over and mention, oh, it has this mechanic from more recent game. They'd just be like, oh no, oh, it's Max Payne. How could you do this to us? But basically, biker gangs and not a conglomerate, but a corporation have taken over Neo Sydney, so it's in the future. And as a cybernetic warrior, Barnsey has decided that he's had it. He's tired of all this, and he's going to go and take out all the gangs and the corporation and return Australia back to Australia.
Make Australia great again.
Yeah, yeah.
Go. Move on.
Coffee break. Just wash that taste out of my mouth.
Sorry.
That's all right. That's a cult, you know.
Yeah. Anyway,
I don't think he's starting a new cult, but yeah, they were also one of the few people that actually gave out magnets this year too.
Oh.
Yeah, I've got a magnet on my fridge now that says I played the Anti-Citizen demo and all I got was this stupid magnet. Which is funny because I didn't actually get a chance to play the demo.
Oh, that's actually a really cool idea for a magnet. Yeah. I think the other one was Rat Trap was giving out magnets.
Oh, were they? I didn't get a Rat Trap magnet. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm really upset now.
Okay.
Yeah.
I should.
Adaptory gave out magnets as well
Okay.
from the NZ code booths. Did you get a chance to look at any of those?
No. No.
Yeah, I figured as much.
No, I did talk to a few devs. I become friends with Rita, or is that how you say it? It's a game, chicken, words, stuff like that.
It's a puzzle game where as you collect the words, the letters, you can create words to solve puzzles that then affect the environment around Rita.
Yeah. That's a nice, elegant way of putting it. Yeah. I've talked to that dev several times now, and I was talking to him last night actually, and yeah, he's a cool dude. I like him.
I wanted one of the 3D chicks.
You want one?
I had absolutely no reason to have one, but I was like, I want one. I didn't steal one though because I'm not a meanie.
You should have.
No, they were using them as like a little treasure hunt. You had to go look for them.
Ah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, they'd placed them around the hall, and you had to find them. There was 6 of them, I think, that were hidden. So if I'd stolen one, no one would be able to do the thing.
You should have asked for it at the end. So
there's always Game Expo.
Yeah, well, that's not too far away. Any Citizen looks a little bit like a Tron type of thing as well. Just to go,
yeah, because it's set in the future.
Yeah,
it's like a dystopian type future, but yeah, the gameplay is heavily
Max
And
Payne.
even the look, in a way, is like, because it's got that low res look of the original Max Payne.
It's like PS1 kind of vibes going on.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah. That is very popular though, this whole making indie games to look PS1 on purpose, and even like
Yeah.
making a PS1 case as the game. So yeah, it's a thing.
It's because all the people who played PS1 have grown up and now and are like trying to recapture that nostalgia.
Yeah, I guess because yeah, I think we're shifting away from pixel games because all those people are too old for games now. Well, I mean, we still got pixel games, but PS1 generation of nostalgia is really starting to hit hard. I should more put it in that direction.
Yeah, yeah. And also, like, it again, it's like the trend at the moment, that the trend is moving a bit away from pixel games. And I feel like that so many farming games have come out recently that everyone's just been like, okay, we've got enough farming games, that people are trying to move away from farming.
Yeah.
And instead they're like saying it's a cozy game.
I would never do that. And
Yeah, the problem is cozy is now becoming overused,
yeah,
and because it's something that's really hard to quantify as well, that somebody can be like, "Oh, this is my cozy game," and it's not. You know, cozy
yeah,
means different things to different people.
that's what I mean. Like you've got
That's
to,
why
yeah,
when you were when you were asking me for advice, why I said I would describe your game as a chill, relaxing game. I wouldn't really say it was cozy.
yes,
It's like, one of those adult coloring books, been in a game.
all those finding hidden object games, but in a game. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, it's all about just relaxing. It's not about, like, you don't have to try and, they're not ramming like things
yeah,
to make you feel good.
yeah. No, that's fair enough.
Like the cozy games, I feel like, are the ones that leave you feeling warm and fuzzy, whereas the chill ones are the ones that just leave you feeling nice and relaxed. But that's my personal quantification of,
Yeah,
I just
no,
want to say,
I'm not going to disagree with you. I can't.
qualification.
Yeah, you're the
Quantification? Yeah,
yeah.
quantify is with the amount.
You being the world's number one journalist, I can't say no.
I mean, if I'm the world's number one journalist, how come I can't get a paid gig?
You're too good. People are intimidated by you on all levels of intimidation. That's what it is. So yeah.
I mean, I feel I probably intimidated a few indies at PAX, because I would go up and I would explain what the game is about, and the indie dev would just kind of turn around and be like, "Why do you know my game that well?"
Because I'm a stalker.
Or the other alternative is that, because I was with my friends, I would explain to them what the game was about, and the indie dev would be like, "No, no, keep going. You're doing really well." Those were the two. Those were the two spectrums I was getting.
Yeah,
Or
no,
they'd be like, that's really well put. I'm quite jealous that you put it together way better than me."
I do that often. What other? Well, Footy Bash was there again with their blood and
Yep.
guts and gore and Steam giveaway, Steam Deck giveaway, and yeah, they were fun dudes. We went after party with them one night for some German beers and stuff. That was fun. They're pretty cool.
Speaking of, just a second.
Oh,
Just
Footy
gonna
Bash.
go into my PAX goodie bag here.
What have we won?
No, that's not what I've won.
Oh, the Footy Bash shirt. Oh,
Yes,
that.
I was tempted to wear that for this podcast.
Oh, you should have. You should have. It's way better than my crappy game. No. They had like a really nice console setup. They made it. That was one of the few booths that they actually made a really nice console, like retro vibe console to play the
They
game.
made
on.
an arcade.
Yeah.
They made an arcade.
Yeah, it was really cool.
They essentially made an arcade game, and you could see people playing it, and the kids, like, even though it does have cartoon violence, like, people were absolutely loving it. That's the thing. Like, I for anyone who's making a multiplayer game, if you can get footage of strangers playing your game at PAX, it is the best advertising for your game. Because a lot of the time you'll get people who don't know each other who will play a game together, and by the end of it they're often laughing and joking with each other, despite the fact that these people have never met before.
Yeah, it's a great introduction to people. That was my son's second favorite game, Footy Bash. It wasn't first favorite, but and I think it was the blood and violence that really won him over. So he's only 9.
I mean, when I was a kid, one of my favorite games was the Nintendo World Entertainment Soccer, which was a bundle game that came with the top-down Famicom style Nintendo Entertainment System, and it had 3 games in it, and it had Super Mario, Tetris, and the World Entertainment Soccer. But the thing is, if you did a special over-the-head kick, you could occasionally knock other players out. And I would spend time just knocking out other players. I didn't play the game properly. I had no intention of winning. I was just knocking out the players.
I was always, maybe that's the next thing. Like, make a game that's just really like vanilla, but has all these really cool things that you can do in the game, like that. Where those things that you're not meant to actually do in the game, but that you build them into the game so people can find all the dumb things.
It's funny because Yoshi P actually was talking about that at the interview that the interview evening that he had here in Melbourne during International Melbourne Games Week.
Is he the guy from Sony?
No, he is the guy that makes Final Fantasy XIV.
Oh, okay.
He's the director of Final Fantasy XIV.
I met the guy that was in charge of Sony. That I can't remember how to pronounce his name, but I had a meeting with him one day. It was fun.
That's pretty cool. But yeah, he's saying how when the original Mario Brothers came out, not Super Mario Brothers, the arcade one, Mario Brothers, him and his friend were playing that, and at first they divided the game, like they divided the tasks between them and they were playing together, and then afterwards they swapped roles, and as they were playing together this time, his friend would purposely make him die, so it changed from a PvE game to a PvP game. And he said that it wasn't the point of the game, but it was something they had just introduced themselves.
And it made fun. Yeah.
That's it. It made something that would probably be somewhat entertaining, a lot more entertaining. And it obviously was a memory that stuck with him. He did also ask how old they were when they played it.
And people, I'm not yet born yet.
Yeah, for those who don't know, it came out in 1985. And it was an arcade game first, if I remember correctly.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, like Donkey Kong.
It's funny, you go back and study how Mario kind of evolved into it, how it is. And it's actually really quite an interesting... It's like accidental things happen to make Mario what it is. It wasn't just, we make this amazing platformer game. It was just a happy accident almost.
Yeah. I mean, I know that one of the requirements when they made the music for the original Mario is that it had to be music that could be played over and over and over without being annoying. That was the requirement.
Yeah. I guess it's not that annoying, but it's still got a little bit of annoyance to it. I think it had to be 8-bit as well.
Yeah. Like there was a lot of other things. It was like, make the best thing that's the least annoying with what you've got.
Yeah. No, I agree with that.
Yeah, sorry, we've gotten completely off track from indie games again.
No, that was an indie game though. Mario was an indie game originally. Kinda.
I mean,
kinda.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
kinda.
I want to say yes, but they also made Hanafuda cards for ages, so they had the monetary backing from the get-go.
True.
Because they used to make the Hanafuda cards from the from the 1800s, I believe they were making them.
Yeah.
So they already had the capital to shift into video games.
Okay. So what was a surprise game at PAX? The game that you've just kind of like, well, oh, I wasn't expecting this to be a thing. Like it just turned out better than you expected. Anything surprising?
I mean, I knew most of the games that were going to be at PAX before I went to PAX, which kind of ruins the surprise.
Yes.
I did find when I saw 420 Blazer, I was just like, what the hell is that? Because I didn't know that was going to be there, because I think it came under whichever state it's made
Oh,
in.
yeah. Because they
So
had their little
when
tents at the side there, kind of thing.
because if when I got the list, there was stuff that for the Tasmanian games, they didn't actually give me the name of the Tasmanian games. They just gave me the name of the booth that's booked under the Tasmanian government. So there was like stuff like they had weird names. Tasmanian government, Victorian government, New South Wales government, and at which point it makes it really hard because I can't contact the developers. I did say to PAX, can you please pass my email on to the government department so that they can pass it on to them so that I could speak to them? But I didn't hear back. So, yeah, when I got there, there was a couple that I hadn't covered. For example, Dungeons and Dining Tables, which I really did want to play because I heard about it from Sage and I was really interested in that one.
They had two
And then I didn't.
booths. They cheated. They had two booths.
They
They had two
were
booths.
originally they were originally students of AIE,
Yeah, AIE, yeah.
I
And
believe.
so they had a booth there, and then they had a booth around the corner as well. I have
Yeah,
I have this a really amazing photo actually of them where this was after the AGDA Awards. We're going home
yeah.
at about I reckon 12 o'clock at night. And they are so drunk, passed out on a tram. It was so funny. I took photos of them and then I saw them at PAX and I said, do you remember this? And they're like, oh, yeah, maybe.
I didn't. I might now.
Yeah, sorry. It was hilarious. But yeah.
South Australia, that's right. They were the South Australian, whatever the
Yeah.
South Australian people were under. But yeah, because they've gotten their game to that point, AIE wants to use it as advertising for their cause. So that's why they've got
Okay.
two.
Yeah.
So the actual people had it their booth. The developers actually had their own booth, and then AIE also had it on their booth. So
Yeah.
that was AIE's decision, not theirs.
Yeah. No, it's fair enough. But yeah, I'm just saying they were cheating.
Oh, something that did surprise me, but I kind of knew it was going to be good anyway, was Burger Boys,
Yeah.
which is one of the New Zealand ones. I really like the look of Corporeal as well, which I wish I'd gotten a chance to try it, but unfortunately, one of the downsides of covering so many indie games is that when you make stuff for the indies, they're very appreciative and they want you to come by their booth to say thank you. And I end up spending all my time just talking to indies instead of actually playing games.
You only talked to me for like 2 seconds.
Oh, I know, but I can talk to you on Discord whenever.
Yeah. And then we did that. Oh, you haven't told everyone that we did the thing that you did. The thing,
panel. Oh, right, the panel.
Yeah, the panel. This is not really game real. It's kind of. It was at the game convention, but it's not an indie game.
It was a PAX panel.
Yeah.
It was my idea, my terrible, terrible idea.
It worked out really fun. It was good.
I felt so terrible for those poor parents.
You should
so
tell
bad.
everyone you kicked out a family that had just come to enjoy this PAX panel. You kicked them out of the theater.
With good reason. I did tell them that it was. I did say that it wasn't family friendly. I unfortunately, due to the sexual nature of, I think it was half of the advertising was at least sexual in nature, and some of it was really sexual. So I was like, you can stay if you want, but I would really advise you to leave because your children look like they are under the age of 10, and I don't want to be the reason they need counselling.
And you kicked them out. You
And I kicked them
security
out.
go and get them out, and the enforcers came in, dragged them out. The kids were screaming. It was horrific, really. And then we had to bribe everyone in the audience with snakes to bring them back to reality.
I mean, I brought a giant tub of gummy worms anyway, so I made sure they were gluten free because I'm celiac and Jam couldn't have gluten either.
And then did I end up with those gluten-free lollies on my booth?
Yes, you did.
And then I had people going to my booth just to get lollies. I was like turned into this lolly vending machine of free lollies. Yeah, I think that all those lollies.
I mean, people came to check out the game and then they ate
Not
lollies
really.
while they were there.
They came
would've...
just for the lollies, and they were eating lollies.
That wasn't what you told me at PAX.
I didn't want to admit to it that they were only coming for the lollies. That would sound bad, but yeah, it was quite fun.
Well, that's why I gave you the lollies, because I'm like, this is a way to attract people to your booth. They're going to see free lollies and they're going to be low on energy because of PAX being so big, and they're going to be like, sugar hit, free sugar hit, even better.
Yeah.
Except it's not technically free because then they have to play your game. Or at least
No,
take some
they just
merchandise.
oh, can I have some lollies? Yeah. Can I have a sticker? Yeah. And then they ran off. That was it.
I mean, the sticker's good at advertising. It lets people know that they're...
Yeah. People like the stickers. People love stickers. Oh, this is the year of the business card. I will say that. I don't know how many business cards you ended acquiring, but we had something like 600 made, and I thought that's going to be more than enough. We run out of business cards by Saturday afternoon. I had to get more printed just to get through. We ended up using about 1,000 business cards in one weekend, which is like insane.
I ran out of business cards. Last year I didn't even run out. This year I ran out.
Yeah.
And I didn't expect it because I'd already contacted so many of the indies beforehand, and I still had to give out, like, I still had I ran out of business cards.
Yeah.
And then Alex from the Indie EXP gave me some of his business cards so that I could help sell. I'd just be like, if you're interested in PR, here's a card. And I ran out of them.
That's what I mean. Like, this was a year everyone was just like, oh, business card. Is it? I don't know. Like, it was crazy the amount of business cards I got. I came home and I've got like this book full of business card things. I had to buy a book to put them all in, and then I threw out some of them that I didn't really want. But yeah,
I've got an entire bag here of just
business cards,
random stuff from PAX.
Yeah,
it's not just business cards; it's all sorts of things. It's just like it's just been like
okay. Well, what was your best giveaway merch? Was it the magnet, or that's your favorite one? The pin.
I like the pins. I probably this wasn't a giveaway, but I really like this.
A teddy bear. Yeah.
It's a corgi. It's so soft and fluffy.
I was gonna get like plushies made, but they're so expensive. Whoever gives away plushies.
Oh yeah. Ugh. Did you see the no, they don't give them away, they sell them. Did you see the
Dumb Ways to Die?
They've been there every year.
Dumb Ways to Die.
No, my brain is just
Dumb Ways to Die.
Refusing to remember how to.
I got free Dumb Ways to Die plushies.
Necrograms.
Oh no.
Necrograms. They had crocheted cats.
Oh yeah.
They were expensive, but they were hand crocheted, and so obviously the person that's doing the crocheting needed to get their cut.
Oh, also, Which Way Up, were they doing the crocheted stuff as well?
They're doing that for the Kickstarter.
Okay.
Which is live now. If you're interested.
Which Way Up? It needs more support. Do it now.
Yeah, halfway to its goal.
Yeah.
And
9 days to go.
Yeah, it would be great if it could get the support, because honestly, I think it's a really fun game.
Yeah.
I made my friend play it at PAX because every time I can't play it with people. I have a copy of the game and I can't play it with people because my internet's too slow.
I said to him that they need to make a one-player mode or something for people like me that haven't got any
Actually doing that.
friends. Yeah, that was my idea.
It's part of the Kickstarter. But yeah, they I got my friend to play it, and he was playing with two kids. Now he doesn't know these kids. He was with two kids and their dad, and he got beaten by the boy. And afterwards, he was like, "It was all the fault of gravity. Wasn't me. Like it's obviously the game favored the kid."
Yeah,
I'm like, "Yeah, sure, sure. You just don't want to admit you got beaten by a child."
I'd say so. And well, my son's favorite game was actually, we should go to that because this is the most.
Yep.
If a 9-year-old says it is his favorite game, it's got to be the best PAX game award, because they don't lie, they don't have lie in them. So
Yeah.
it was the Cowboys game, rocketing
Ricochet Rodeo.
Ricochet. Yeah, he loved that game very, very much.
I do like that it has a very nifty rock, paper, scissors mechanic. So, for example, bullets can be stopped by guns. No, bullets can be stopped by knives. Knives can be destroyed by dynamite,
Yeah.
and guns can destroy dynamite. So it's if you are really good at the game, you can essentially, if someone throws a stick of dynamite at you, you can shoot it to stop it from hitting you. If someone shoots a bullet at you, you can use a knife to deflect it. You know, if you know what you need to do
Yeah.
if you get really good at it, it's actually quite hard to kill the person if they know how to deal with it. But at the same time, the bullets bounce, which make it a lot harder to actually understand what the trajectory is going to be.
But yeah, apparently that was
They're
the best.
launching this
That
month.
was, yeah. I think it actually came out. I think it's actually out. I think
Is
it
it?
came out like
I
a day or two ago.
Okay. I knew it was coming out really soon because in the weirdest thing that's ever happened to me, they actually contacted me and asked me for advice on their launch, and I was like, I've never launched a game. I don't know. That's not true. I actually gave them
Yeah,
some advice. Was like,
it's live now with 40% off. You can buy it for
okay,
$4.50 Australian, which is like $1 in the rest of the world.
yeah, wow, that's really cheap.
Yeah, it requires a controller to play. So,
Yeah, it does require a controller to play.
yeah, cool. So, yeah, that was
You buying that one?
I would say so. It's my son's favorite game from PAX. So,
Yeah, because they've been working on that one for I think 2 or 3 years. I think I saw them at PAX 2 years ago or something, or it might have even been last year.
yeah,
Yes, it would have been last year. That's how they know me. That's why they messaged me.
yeah,
That's
okay.
right.
No, they were cool. I just bought another game today, actually, from a developer. I played their game last night at the Melbourne meetup thing, which was Fear is
Oh, the
in.
IDGA.
Yeah, Fear is in the Mind, which is like
Oh, that
some.
sounds interesting.
I think you would like it. It's kind of more of a psychological horror game, but it's one of those games where they've used a shader to highlight the edges of like a building or whatever. And so the whole game's black and you just see outlines of everything, and you go through different rooms
Okay.
and stuff like that. It's got a really, really, really good sound, audio stuff, like whatever they've done, like really good voice
Yeah.
acting, and they've really, you've got to wear headphones to play it. It's really, really well done.
It kind of reminds me of this isn't from PAX and this isn't an Australian one, but there was a game I tried during the Next Fest called Karma, and that seemed to be like a bit of a psychological puzzle thriller.
Yeah.
And that one had good sound design, but the problem is that my computer's old and it does this weird thing. The only other game it's done it with is Pacific Drive,
Yeah. Okay.
and it will cut out. The sound will cut out every like 7 seconds.
Oh, that makes it really enjoyable to listen to sound.
Yeah, it just ruined the whole experience. I stopped playing the demo. I essentially got through the setup, and then I stopped playing the demo when I got to the part where I'd actually have to explore the dark world. And I was like, I can't play this with this sound issue. It's not doing the game justice.
Fair enough. But yeah, no. So that was the other one that I've done. So yeah, I'll get the other one as well because it looks pretty cool, and then I can play that game as well. The end.
What else did I saw Blacktasia, which was a really interesting one. It's the first completely Aboriginal team made game in Australia.
Is that the one where the little girl goes around collecting rubbish?
I don't think she's going around collecting rubbish. It's got a variety of mini games.
Okay.
So, like for example, you help an anteater collect all the ants. Not anteater,
Ah,
echidna.
and then what?
Sorry,
So
it's a
yeah, and then one of them
and it helps
was
clear the corruption in the bush.
yeah, yeah, and one of them she collects rubbish. I just played the rubbish kind of. I must have played one segment of that game at GCAP. So yeah, it
Yeah,
was.
I was watching the trailer and everything, so I saw and I watched other people play, so I saw a bunch of things that were happening because it was a really interesting looking game, and I reckon it would be fun.
I played that one at GCAP. I also played My Arms Are Too Long or something like that. It's called.
My arms are longer now.
Yes, My Arms Are Longer Now. That game I played at GCAP too. That was. It's I
It's another one
like
of those that's really hard to explain.
it's just like really long arms, but it's done in like a kind of weird mechanic. Like you can't, you could tie your arm in a knot if you wanted to
Would
because
you,
it's a string.
would you like some help?
Yes, please.
Okay, so my arms are longer now. Basically, players have control of a sentient arm, and essentially they'll have a list of items they need to steal from different levels. The one that I saw was public transport, aka train, specifically in Melbourne. So basically, one of the items they have to steal is like wallet, a dog, a bike tire. Like it's just the most random thing, and your arm will snake along the ground, sliver around to grab the items, and then retract to steal them. And that's essentially the game, and it is an absolute absurd time.
It is. I I think that, and I wasn't the only one. We were playing it at GCAP, and some of the controls I think still have a little bit of work to do because
Yeah,
we were finding it hard to grab certain items and stuff like the whole movement that was really fine. It was just the grabbing thing wasn't happening as
yeah.
good as it had to. But yeah, I think it'll get there.
I think they're still working on it.
Yeah.
I did say to them that I want to see a dog patting DLC where it's just that you have to pat dogs in different situations without the owners noticing.
Yeah, that's a cool idea. Yeah, but it's a really
And they were
kind of
like,
fun
"Oh, we
idea.
actually wanted to make it so that everything you've stolen is stored in a warehouse, and the dog will be there, and you can pat the dog." And I'm like, I will accept that as a stopgap measure for the dog patting DLC.
Yeah, that's funny. Um, I don't know. Like there was so many cool games there. There was another one that was a first
There
person
was
shoot.
so many indie games.
Yeah, a first person shooter, vampire kind of shooter thing that was right near where my booth was. That looked really fun. I never got a chance to
Was
play.
that Blood Reaver?
Yeah, that was it.
Yes.
It looked very
There.
violent, but very fun.
Yes. Yes. It's essentially it's a first person wave based shooter. So basically, you have to survive the waves. And what happened is that there are four unique heroes, and you can play it with co-op with three other people
Hmm.
online and stuff. Each hero will have their own kind of unique abilities, but at the same time, the player can do things and they can choose what weapons they want to use and what magic they want to use. The story is that there were these the Blood Reavers used to stop the demons from infiltrating the human realm, and the characters have accidentally reawakened this age old feud, and as the only people there, they have to learn about the Blood Reavers, essentially become them, and defend the world from the demons' infiltration.
Yeah, there's a lot going on in that game, but I just like the
Funny
way.
because they actually share a building with another South Australian group, and their game
Yeah.
is Blood Vow Survive the Night,
Fair
where
enough.
you are essentially a god that is summoned by the desperate people of the world, requesting your assistance to save them from these stone statues that come to life at night and ravage their towns. So you've got to try and help them.
So they're basically just working on each other's game and kind of building. Oh, we worked out how to put this mechanic in. Let's put that into your game as well, kind of thing. Or do you think there's a bit of
No,
that going on?
no,
No, they've just.
because theirs is because one is isometric, the other one is first person,
Okay, okay.
and one's wave based. The other one is like the whole point is that you need to survive the wave in. Well, both of them have wave based elements, but the idea with Blood Vow is that you need to put statues in places to stop the stone to attract the stone statues so that they don't attack your followers, because
Ah,
your followers are obviously your source of power in a way because you're a god. They brought you into existence, but you are also a physical entity, and wherever you are will kind of turn the tide of battle. So if you aren't careful, you can end up losing all your followers, at which point you have to try again.
wow.
I don't know if you're saying wow because of the game or because of the fact that I seem to know so much of this
I think
stuff.
all of this, all of the above. The game actually, it had a big kind of following at PAX. It probably, out of all the booths, that one there probably attracted the most amount of people.
Blood Vow or
One of the two, whichever one was close to me.
Blood Reaver?
But that one,
Blood Reaver.
yeah, that one there seemed to have.
They first showcased at Stage 2.
Okay. Box night was still at PAX. They were near us as well. I'm that game has been at PAX now for like feels like 5 years.
3 years.
Oh, is it that long? Yeah, it seems like a while. I don't. Is it coming out any of these days soon, or what? Do you know any more about Box night?
As far as I'm aware, it's close. I think it's close to completion. I think they were, last I heard, they were working on a co-op mode.
Okay.
So they added, originally it was just like a roguelite, but then they added an elemental thing to it. So like the fire attacks, lightning attacks, and then this time at PAX they were showing off, I think, the co-op ability. They're beginning to add the co-op ability. So hopefully,
But why not just release it and then build in abilities as you go? Like, I don't know. I'm that.
my
kind
guess is that the feedback they get is what's driving these decisions. So I mean, I enjoy it. I probably wouldn't play it for a really long time, but it's definitely good for kind of like a pick up and a quick play. I've never really gotten that far though, so I reckon I would probably need another person to help me.
Yeah.
But I think, yeah, it's just they've probably got feedback from a convention and they've started on that, and then they got the feedback and they've been like, okay, now this is what we need to add.
Yeah. Please don't give me feedback on my game. I want to finish it. The end. No, I do. I was joking. That was a joke. Memories Reach was there. That's always looking good. I was talking to him last night. Also, I think he's not too far away from release next year.
Yeah.
Sometime.
I was supposed to play the new area at PAX and I just didn't get time.
Yeah.
I felt so bad.
I know he's kind of just not too far away. He's getting there, but yeah.
Yeah, I look forward to its release because honestly, I loved what I played at PAX the previous year,
Yeah. So,
and I definitely like that whole trying to exploring an area and finding out about it and discovering the mystery and things like that.
it's it's really weird though. Like game like Gay Dracula that was at PAX this year again, and like last year that game had
Draculeschi.
Draculeschi. Yes, that game had so much hype last year. Like everyone was like talking about it, and you know what I mean. And then
Mm.
this year, I didn't even know it was there till I walked around for a moment. Like no one, it wasn't the game that people were talking. It's weird how like and Box Night was that game a couple of years before that. So
I
it's
think when you're a returning game, it makes it hard because all the attention, you might have gotten the attention the first time, but and that's kind of, I guess, in a way, it's really hard because you're like, do I bring it now? And it's the same with Hollow Hero. Hollow Hero was that several PAXs ago, I think before
yeah.
even COVID. Do you go earlier and show off your game and get the valuable feedback that you need to make it a better game at the risk of then losing that potential popularity by the time you release? So,
I don't know because we seem to. I was really funny, like because we've been to two packs now with our game, and the first time we were really worried about having the same demo at PAX this year, but I would say that only 30% of people had played, like came back to play it. There was like a whole new crowd that was like, oh, we haven't played this before. So I don't know, that it's kind of weird that you're kind of expecting the same crowd to turn up the next year, but it's just, I think, because there's a different crowd each year. Like I said, business cards are
not
big this
everyone can
year.
go every year. That's the
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. So you get like a different vibe from the crowd each year. Like this year, there was a lot less of the cosplay than there was any other years. Like the last couple of years have been way more cosplay than there was this time.
They have moved the cosplay theater and everything in the other building.
Okay.
So that might have had something to do with it.
Okay. Because the cosplay was like down a lot. Um,
I
and
think they want to keep the cosplay in the actual expo hall to kind of a minimum because it clogs the walkways.
yeah, maybe you might be right.
I
Cause
did see a Bayonetta on Friday. And I was just like, holy crap, that's a choice.
yep,
Have you
yeah.
seen her shoes?
Oh, some of them are like, oh, you go, okay, so that's tame until you go to Gamescom and everyone's dressing up as anime girls. Then it gets a bit too crazy, okay?
Oh, I've been to like anime cons and stuff like that. I meant like the fact that her shoes are so high. Like I would not be wearing shoes like that at PAX. No, no, I struggle with just normal shoes, let alone high heel platform shoes.
Yeah, so some of them are crazy, but and well, I think we'll have to continue this next time because we hadn't even got to like other games and stuff like that.
Yeah,
I feel like we got
it's
through a lot of packs kind of stuff, but not we missed
yes
out on
and no. I
some.
feel like
Part two. We'll
because the
do
thing is,
part two next week.
it's really hard because we haven't really covered aside from Rita and Anti Citizen Red. There was there was four other winners of the PAX case.
Mm-hmm.
There were some. They actually had the board games and the board games with the video games this year, which was an interesting choice. I need to try and get in contact with some of
That
them
was
to find
weird.
out.
But that was weird because like the board game section was all the way at the back, but then the winners,
Yeah, where it normally is.
and then there was a couple of board games up the front here with the video games, and yeah,
They were the indie ones. They were the indie ones that had applied for the indie showcase. So they
yeah,
were part of PAX Rising. They were the PAX Rising tabletop
yeah. Okay, okay.
games. So they'd put them with the rest of PAX Rising. But the in some ways, I'm like, in some ways it's a positive, in other ways it's not. So, for example, it'll give them a lot more exposure, but at the same time, it is really not the correct environment for trying to play games. So, when I was sitting down chatting to the guys at Mean, the Final Fantasy,
Oh, music.
the stage,
Yeah,
not the music, the stage was facing towards the Sega booth.
yeah.
But because of the way it was facing, was you couldn't hear most of the people at board games because it was so loud.
Uh,
Whereas essentially the PAX booth not PAX, the Final Fantasy 14 booth kind of worked for the indies in being in the middle of them, because when people were waiting in line for Final Fantasy 14, a lot of the time they were watching the games as they were going around. So what I was told is that a lot of people said that people who'd gone and played Final Fantasy 14 then came over to the indie booths after to have a look at the games that they were interested in while they were in the line.
Yeah, I can.
Which is great, because the line covered 3/4 of the booth, essentially.
Yeah,
Which is where all the indie games were, sorry.
we were facing straight into that, but I don't think we were attracting any Final Fantasy people. So
Oh, that sucks.
nah. Well, I don't remember. I don't recall anyone coming out to me and go, "Oh, I saw you from the Final Fantasy line. We had to come over and check it out." But
I think it was Unite the Party and programs that I spoke to
Yeah.
that said that they had some people come over.
yeah. But
And but yeah, it just what I'm saying is that might have been all right for the indie games, not so much for the board games, because you couldn't really hear them. So in a way, it kind of worked for them and it worked against them. The other reason is that generally the board games area is open till 9 p.m.
yeah, and then
Or is 11? 11. They usually stay open till 11, but by having them in with the video games, they were suddenly shut off at 6. Which kind of
But
is something that
to
wasn't
be
good.
fair, like, oh my God, that's a big day if you have to stay all the way from 10 till 11. No, that is a massive day. You need like 20 loads of people, 20 people in your booth to be able to do that.
Yeah, but
It's
it
big.
also means that would probably be their bigger time would be when the other areas, the rest of the expo hall is shut down.
Yeah.
I feel like that it's getting to the point where it's probably going to have to split in two soon, because we've got, like, there was so much board game stuff.
Oh, so you're
There were so many more board game
suggesting
vendors.
that we're going to have PAX indie game or PAX games and PAX board games
Unplugged.
which would be the board games. Oh, because I think they do it in America, do they not?
Yes.
Okay.
Because it's getting to the point where the indie games and all the video game stuff is getting bigger. I mean, Nintendo wasn't even there. Sony wasn't there.
Steam Deck was there though.
Steam Deck was there.
Yeah. I got multiple Steam Docks. Party.
The thing is that if if it continues to grow the way it is, the entire expo hall is eventually just going to be filled with gaming stuff, and there's not going to be room for the board games, because the board games are getting bigger as well, and that's not a problem. I'm just
hear me out for a second. Okay, so I'm a gamer and I like video games, but I'm not necessarily into board games. And I've talked to a lot of board game people that are walking past my booth to go to the board games, and they're like, "Oh, we don't really play video games." So how many of the people do you think that do both? Like, do you think 50% do both, or do you think people are there specifically for board games and other people there specifically for video games? You know what I mean?
think the major draw card for PAX is the video games.
Yeah.
The board games less so, but that doesn't mean there's no interest in the board games. I like board games.
Oh yeah.
I've got board games
I
right
know.
here.
No, lots of people do, but I'm saying I think that the people that go to PAX are mostly going for one or the other, and they're not going for both components. That's
I go for both.
Yeah, but you're like one of the 10%, let's say.
My friend also goes for both, and so does his sister. So I think it really seems, I know a lot of the people I know go for both, but I'm not talking about, I'm talking about it less from a who's going there for what, and more for there's just not going to be enough room.
Yeah, fair
The
enough.
convention center is only so big.
And for anyone outside of Australia, this is a massive convention center. Like it is
It's
big.
essentially it's two buildings. It's the Melbourne Convention and Exhibition Centre, MCEC. So it's essentially two, and usually a convention in this building will take up maybe half the expo hall or a third of the expo hall. It doesn't normally take up the entire expo
And the
hall.
expo
And
hall
PAX
would
takes up the entire expo hall.
the expo hall would be a kilometer long, do you reckon?
Oh, it's huge. And then they also take up the convention center as well. So they
Yeah.
don't just do the exhibition center, they have the convention center, which they use for the panels and for other things. It's just getting to the point where it's if it gets any bigger, they might have to just move out into the green space.
Move into the casino.
Oh, casino won't do that.
Oh, it was a joke.
No,
But
move into the shopping center.
here's the idea. The weekend before PAX, they do the board games. The weekend, and then they do GCAP. Then they do, then they do PAX games. That would be enough for everyone for a year. Just make it a massive PAX month. But yeah,
October, month of games.
I wanted to finish off with. We'll do
Okay.
some more of this next time because we'll have to go back and hit some stuff. But I wanted to finish off this episode particularly with the wedding. Did you go to the weddings?
Oh yes, the weddings. No. I knew they were happening and originally I was like, yes, I want to go. But I was so busy that I didn't get a chance.
For anyone that doesn't know what I'm talking about, um, Cult of the Lamb, which is the biggest indie game to come out of Melbourne for like ever, they decided to have two actual weddings where they set up a Cult of the Lamb kind of throne.
I think the lamb marries them too, doesn't it? Or the lamb's
Yeah,
just there.
yeah, or something
One
like
of the
that. But it was
there was a
full Cult of the Lamb.
priestess who married
Yeah,
them.
full kind of thing that they married these two
Because the
couples.
first couple, I believe, got married in their fursuits, which is
Yes,
what they were like. This is a great way for us to we bonded over this game, and this is a great thing for us. And then the second couples just, I don't know what they wore. I think they just wore their normal wedding attire, I believe.
but yeah, it was pretty cool because if you saw the set, it was quite amazing.
Yeah, the set was really amazing. Sorry, I was just trying to figure out if a fursuit is more expensive than a wedding dress. I think the fursuit might actually be cheaper.
Asking for a friend.
Oh no, can you imagine if they fuse wedding fursuits? Oh my god, that would be so expensive.
Oh no, that would be expensive. Oh,
Oh yeah, oh my god. And you'd only wear it the once.
but the resale, you could resell. Surely there'd be people all over the place wanting to resell. Buy. No.
Fursuits are from what I've heard, fursuits are a very personal thing.
Oh.
Because people's personas are often a reflection of what they want. So everyone will want different colors, different animals and stuff like that. So generally, yes, it's not really a resale thing.
Oh.
There's also the ick factor.
Yeah, that's pretty gross. But yeah, I'm learning so
I'm
much.
going to tell you now that inside a fursuit, you will sweat. As someone who's done cosplay in the past.
I thought we were going.
As soon as anything goes over your head
You are
and you
sweating.
don't have the ventilation, you'll start to sweat.
Well, are we going into the like fursuit category of what fursuits you have? Like, are we?
No,
No.
I don't have any fursuits. I do not have the patience to sew fur. I did a tail for the Tao Kaka cosplay. It was just the tail that was fur. The rest was felt.
Yeah.
And it was a massive pain to deal with. Not only that, trying to get the tail to stand up and put wire that was strong enough in there was such a pain as well. But that one had a hood with a covered face, and because I wore it to Fest, which was in the middle of winter, June, and I was wearing a tank top underneath and shorts because it was like a hoodie, a really long hoodie. I got so hot in there, I actually had to take the hoodie off. So I was walking around Melbourne in shorts and a tank top and was just like, oh my God, this feels so great. And my friend is just like, the fuck is wrong with you? Like, it is so hot in there. It is so hot. Like, even though it's freezing outside, I am incredibly hot in that, and it's just retaining the heat. So, yeah.
Okay.
Random cosplay tip from What About Indie Games?
Yes. And fur weddings are amazing. Let's end on that.
Weddings are amazing.
Yeah. Let's just finish on that kind of high. Yeah, all good. Talk to you guys soon.
Bye.
Bye.